That's a fantastic question, Emily, and it really gets to the core of why financial freedom matters. Financial freedom isn't about being a millionaire or retiring to a yacht. It's about having enough control over your money to make choices that align with your values, whether that's starting a business, traveling, giving back, or simply living without the constant weight of financial worry. It's essential because it gives you peace, flexibility, and the power to focus on what truly matters: relationships, health, personal growth. Without it, money stress can cloud your decisions, sap your energy, and limit your potential. With it, you gain the confidence to take risks, seize opportunities, and build a life of purpose. I think of someone like Warren Buffett, who's spent decades building wealth through discipline, saying, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." His approach created not just riches, but options, a life of impact through philanthropy. Early in my own journey, I was a bank teller in Atlanta, living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in student loans. I felt trapped, like my dreams were on hold. But when I started budgeting, saving small amounts, and learning about money, everything shifted. I paid off debt, built a coaching practice, and wrote books that help others. Financial freedom doesn't just secure your bank account. It liberates your spirit, giving you the space to dream big and live fully, knowing you're prepared for life's twists.
That's such a liberating way to frame it, Benjamin. Freedom as choices, not just cash. Buffett's discipline is so compelling. You mentioned your own journey from teller to coach. Can you walk us through how someone can start seeking financial freedom, especially if they're feeling overwhelmed or strapped?
Absolutely, Emily. The first step is to create a clear financial snapshot. You can't move toward freedom without knowing where you stand. Track your income, expenses, debts, and savings, no judgment. This clarity is like a map showing you what's possible. I draw inspiration from Oprah Winfrey, who transformed her finances by understanding her worth, saying, "You get in life what you have the courage to ask for." Her clarity built an empire from modest beginnings. When I was struggling, I avoided my finances, bills piled up, and I'd panic, swiping credit cards. I felt lost. Inspired by Oprah, I listed everything: $200 weekly pay, $150 rent, $30,000 loans. It was scary but empowering. I saw I could cut $20 from dining, saving $80 monthly. That started my debt payoff, then investments, growing my coaching. I coached a client named Sarah, a barista buried in medical bills, thinking freedom was for rich people. We used Oprah's clarity. She tracked $300 income, $200 expenses, $5,000 debt. She cut $10 weekly lattes, saving $40 monthly, starting an emergency fund. She's now debt-free, studying nursing. A snapshot isn't about shame. It's about power, setting the stage for a free future. Another step is to build a simple budget with purpose. Allocate money to needs, savings, and a little joy. Say 50% needs, 20% savings, 30% wants. Automate savings to make it effortless. I learned this from John D. Rockefeller, who budgeted meticulously, saying, "A man's wealth is not in the money he carries, but in the habits he forms." His discipline made him a titan. I used to spend first, save nothing. Stress ruled me. Rockefeller's budgeting helped. I automated $50 monthly savings. It grew to thousands, funding my business. Sarah tried it, saving $25 automatically. Her fund hit $1,000, easing hospital fears. Budgeting isn't restriction. It's a tool to align money with your dreams, paving the way to freedom.
I love those starting points, Benjamin. A clear snapshot and purposeful budget. Oprah and Rockefeller make it so practical. But what about when debt or unexpected expenses, like medical bills or car repairs, derail your progress? How do you stay on track?
Oh, Emily, debt and surprises can feel like financial quicksand, pulling you back just when you're moving forward. The key is to tackle debt strategically while building a buffer. Start with a small emergency fund, $500 to $1,000, to catch life's curveballs. Then attack high-interest debt with focus, paying minimums on others. One tool is the debt snowball. Clear smallest debts first for quick wins, boosting momentum. I draw from Dave Ramsey, who says, "You must gain control over your money, or the lack of it will forever control you." His method freed millions. When I faced loans, a car breakdown hit. $2,000 I didn't have. I panicked, charging it, sinking deeper. Ramsey's snowball saved me. I saved $500 first, then paid my smallest loan, $5,000, while maintaining others. Knocking it out felt like a win. I cleared $30,000 in 3 years, stress fading. I coached a client named Michael, a mechanic with $15,000 credit card debt, hit by vet bills. He felt doomed. Inspired by Ramsey, he saved $600, then cleared a $2,000 card. It fueled him. He's halfway done, sleeping better. A buffer and snowball don't erase setbacks. They give you control, keeping freedom in sight. Another strategy is diversifying income streams. Relying on one paycheck risks derailment, so explore side gigs, tutoring, freelancing, selling crafts, to cushion shocks. I learned this from Beyoncé, who says, "I don't like to gamble, but if there's one thing I'm willing to bet on, it's myself." Her ventures, music, fashion, build wealth. I started tutoring finance nights. It covered repairs, accelerating debt payoff. Michael, inspired by Beyoncé, fixed cars weekends. It paid bills, speeding his debt plan. Diversifying and tackling debt strategically turn obstacles into steps toward a free financial future.
That's so empowering, Benjamin. Buffers and side hustles as freedom tools. Ramsey and Beyoncé bring it to life. You've mentioned incredible figures like Buffett and Winfrey. Are there other famous people whose financial journeys inspire you?
Oh, absolutely, Emily. Financial freedom shines through so many lives. Take Nelson Mandela, who valued education over wealth, saying, "Poverty is not an accident. Like slavery, it is man-made." His law studies, funded modestly, fueled justice, freedom, and purpose. When loans overwhelmed me, Mandela's focus inspired me. I budgeted for night classes. It launched my coaching, debt-free now. I coached a client named Olivia, a teacher scraping by. Mandela's purpose led her to save $10 weekly for training. She's a principal, secure. Another is Serena Williams, who invested winnings wisely, saying, "I'm not here to play small." Her ventures, fashion, VC, ensure lasting wealth. When my savings stalled, Serena's boldness pushed me to invest $100 monthly in stocks. It's now $50,000, funding talks. Olivia, inspired by Serena, saved $20 weekly in a fund. Her nest eggs growing, easing stress. Then there's J.K. Rowling, who went from welfare to billions, saying, "We do not need magic to transform our world." Her discipline wrote Harry Potter. I coached a client named Ethan, a waiter with $10,000 debt. Rowling's grit led him to budget $30 weekly. It cleared debt, and he's studying tech. These icons show financial freedom isn't luck, it's vision, discipline, and betting on yourself.
Those stories are so uplifting, Benjamin. Mandela, Williams, Rowling, they show freedom's path. What about when fear, like market crashes or job insecurity, makes you hesitate? How do you push forward?
Fear is a powerful brake. Emily, it whispers worst-case scenarios, freezing your plans. The key is building knowledge to shrink fear. Educate yourself, read books, watch videos, talk to advisors to demystify money. One tool is a fear journal. Write your worry, then list one fact that counters it. I draw from Susie Orman, who says, "Knowledge is the key to financial freedom." Her advice empowers millions. When markets dipped, I feared investing, thought I'd lose everything. Orman's knowledge pushed me. I read one finance article weekly, journaled, "I'm scared of loss. Markets recover long-term." I started small, $50 monthly, and it grew, calming me. I coached a client named Rachel, a nurse scared of layoffs, hoarding cash. She felt paralyzed. Inspired by Orman, she read budgeting blogs, journaled, "I fear no job. I have skills." She saved $1,000, took courses, her job's secure, and she's investing. Knowledge isn't abstract. It's armor against fear, keeping you moving toward freedom. Another strategy is focusing on what you control. You can't stop crashes, but you can budget, save, learn. I learned this from Maya Angelou, who says, "You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them." Her resilience wrote history. I couldn't fix markets, but I saved $100 monthly. It built security. Rachel controlled her spending, cutting $50 monthly. It funded training. Control and knowledge dissolve fear, fueling financial progress.
That's so liberating, Benjamin. Knowledge and control as fearbusters. Orman and Angelou make it clear. How do we sustain financial freedom long-term, especially when life tempts overspending or complacency?
Sustaining financial freedom is like tending a garden. It thrives with consistent care, even through temptations. One habit is regular financial check-ins. Review your budget, savings, and goals monthly. 15 minutes keeps you aligned. I learned this from Tony Robbins, who tracks wealth, saying, "What you focus on, you feel." His discipline built empires. I check accounts Sundays. My savings grew 20%, funding books. I coached a client named Anna, a lawyer splurging on clothes, stalling savings. Robbins' check-ins led her to review spending. She saved $5,000, buying a car cash. Another key is automating wealth building. Set auto transfers to savings, investments, or debt, out of sight, out of mind. Rockefeller did this, saying, "The way to wealth is as plain as the way to market." I automated $200 monthly. It's now $100,000, securing talks. Anna automated $100 savings. Her funds $10,000, easing stress. Also diversify assets. Spread money, stocks, bonds, real estate, to weather storms. Buffett says, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I diversified, stocks, savings, doubling net worth. I coached a client named Mark, a salesman saving only cash. Buffett's spread led him to bonds, his wealth stable, funding school. Diversification protects freedom. Finally, anchor to purpose. Your why. Family, giving, adventure, beats temptation. Viktor Frankl stayed focused for meaning, saying, "Those who have a why can bear almost anyhow." My purpose, teaching wealth, keeps me frugal. These habits, check-ins, automation, diversification, purpose, build freedom that lasts a lifetime.
Those are such vibrant tools, Benjamin. Robbins' focus, Buffett's spread, Frankl's why. It's a blueprint for freedom. As we close, what's one final piece of advice for listeners ready to seek financial freedom today?
My biggest advice is to take one money move now. Freedom starts with a single, intentional act. Think of Abraham Lincoln, who saved modestly for law books, saying, "The best way to predict your future is to create it." For me, it was that $20 cut, sparking a life I love. One last story. I coached a single mom named Lauren, a cashier drowning in $8,000 debt, fearing she'd never escape. We looked at Chris Gardner, who rose from homelessness, saying, "The future was something I built." Lauren saved $10 weekly. It grew. She cleared debt, studies accounting, and mentors kids. If Lauren can build, so can you. Pick one act today, track a dollar, save a dime, read a page. That step plants a life of financial freedom.
What a beautiful way to wrap up, Benjamin. Lauren's story, alongside legends like Lincoln and Gardner, shows freedom is for everyone. Thank you for sharing such profound wisdom and practical steps. I know our listeners are ready to take charge of their finances.
Thank you, Emily, and to all the listeners. I hope you feel empowered to build a future free of financial stress.
And that's it for today's episode of Journey to Success. If this conversation sparked your financial fire, and I'm betting it did, please hit that subscribe button to catch every empowering episode. Share this with someone ready to build wealth, and join us next time for more insights to fuel your journey. Until then, keep planting your financial seeds, one step at a time.